Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to There Will Be Trivia. My name is Henry Confidential, and is my co-host today, John Marr. John, we have an interesting match today. We have three people that know each other fairly well, in various leagues, various time periods, various different, movements in their life. I don't know exactly how well you know them because I know you're fairly new to the community, but what are your thoughts on paper with this match?
I'm interested to see how it goes. I've really only seen Ryan play a lot. I've seen Sandy play maybe once, and I've seen Sean play once. I've seen Ryan play a time, so I'm interested to see how this goes.
There we go. So I've known Sandy for a long time. I've known Sean for a decently long time, and I've known Ryan. I've known Ryan's name longer than I've actually known him, but I've known him decent, long as well at the same time. So, I'm fairly familiar with all of them. Anyone can win this match. I'm really excited for that. So we're going to go one at a time, and we are going to start with Ryan Payne. Ryan, look at you cleaning your glasses. I don't know if you need those glasses for your whiteboard, but do you feel like you're going to write some right answers today, or do you feel like the power of this thing is not going to bring it today?
Oh, I'm hoping to write some right answers, and actually I'm putting this on because for the past throughout my career, I always thought my hair brought my strength, but when I decided to cover it up, I'm like, screw the Samson legend. I'm going to try and go just with my intellectual knowledge, with wearing a Superman shirt and banking on Lex Luthor's 12th intellect.
And we just love seeing your pretty face. So I'm excited to see what you got going for this league. You of the three of you have the broadest strength. So I'm definitely curious to see if that's going to showcase your wealth of knowledge within it, or if it's going to bite you in the butt like maybe it did Luis in that match. We'll see how it goes. But I can't wait to see what happens. And then we're going to jump over to Sandy. Sandy the Sandman Robinson. Usually you're on the other side, hosting things. When you had the opportunity to play, do you have any jitters, or is it one of those things where you've just been there, regardless of what side of the table you're on, you've just been there so much that you show up, you do your thing, you either know it, you don't, you're in and out. Let's see what happens.
Well, you're right. I mean, we've known each other for an extraordinary amount of time, and we've been playing games like this for, I think the last time I checked your and I's friendship, it was like 4.5 years. So we've been doing this for a long time. I feel as if I'm getting stupider as time goes on. I'm really happy that Ryan is, decided to hold his hair back, because that was my strength. It might not have been his, but his hair was my strength. So I'm a little bit confused on why he's covering it up. I know he wants me to lose, but and me and Sean, he's beaten me, I've beaten him. It all comes down to format. And if you can play the format, round ones are always a killer for me, because they're just random questions that somebody else knows that I probably don't. But you know what? It's going to be fun. That's what I guess to answer your question is, I just show up to have fun now. There's still the competitive juices. I still want to win, but you know what? At the end of the day,
there you go. And I do love that after Ryan mentioned Superman, we'll bring you on looking exactly like Lex Luthor. There we go. We're going to jump over to your final opponent today. Welcome to the Movie Crusaders. Sean Wasserkrug, are you ready to review some movies or play some movie trivia? What you got going on in your mind today?
I'm going to do both. I mean, it is what it is. This is my first trivia match in about a year. I stepped away for reasons that I'm not going to mention, and decided, you know what, I got the hunger to play again, and decided why the hell not. I mean, I'm playing Ryan, who used to be in a faction with me, so I know him really, really well, and Sandy is the guy who actually brought me in to the trivia leagues. So, I mean, without Sandy, I wouldn't probably be doing this. I know both those guys real well. Thanks for letting me come back and try this back out again.
Absolutely, and it really sounds like you have the need for speed. Sorry, got to bring a little bit of cheese in there.
Need to try and think I know trivia.
There you go. Sandy thinks he's getting stupider. You're like, I honestly don't know. It's been a long time since I've done this.
You get hit in the head with so many chairs over your life. Sometimes just literally last night I was training and I forgot one of the easiest questions in my strength, And the person who was training with me is like, you should just go back and retire. I was like, thanks. I was like, thanks for that.
Way to rip that Band-Aid off. You're like, yeah, sometimes I do take for granted the easy ones because you're like, I haven't thought about that in so long because it's just supposed to be there, but it is just deep down. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes right now.
Can I have the answers?
No, you cannot have the answers, but here are the questions. John, I'll go ahead and take the odds. You take the evens, friend?
That sounds good to me.
All right, gentlemen. Ryan, are you ready?
Yes.
Sandy, are you ready?
Yeah.
John, are you ready?
Let's get it going.
You don't have a choice because there will be trivia. Question number 1 in the category of horror.
Nice. Oh.
Who directed both The Witch and The Lighthouse?
I had a renaissance of these movies recently. Yeah.
Sandy, just for everyone's sake of heart, if you can.
Yeah, move your hands up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Absolutely. I see you're in a new layout, so you got to figure out exactly how to get it in there. That's we have the same thing with JPO. He's like, I've never done this before. I'm just comfy. And I'm like, that's fair. I'm laying on my. The night's getting longer the lower I start going. 5.
Yeah.
4. 3.
There's a joke there.
1. Yikes. We're gonna start off with Ryan Payne.
I believe it's Robert Eggers. I don't know if I'll say his last name.
Sandy Sandman Robinson.
Mine's not even close to that, if that's right. I said Alexander Desplat.
That's a person. I won't tell you what kind of person right now because you might not like that answer. And then Sean.
He just did the Northman, Robert Eggers.
That is correct. So we have 1 for Ryan and 1 for Sean.
Your second question is going to come to us from Ryan's Strength of Action Adventure. Michael Pena's character works for what law enforcement agency in Shooter?
It's one of those questions where it's like, if you know a couple, at least you can guess. And I feel like that's what you want round 1. My goal for round 1 is no blank boards. There should never be a blank board in round 1, even if you have no idea. Technically guessable. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sandman.
I said the FBI.
Sean.
I said NSA.
And Ryan.
Well, my cousin actually said to his now wife, what he is a FBI, a fake boob investigator.
Jesus. 2 of you had the same answer, and both of them are correct. It was, in fact, the FBI. Jumping over to our third question in the category of 80s. What film has a cast that includes Matthew Broderick, Rutger Hauer, and Michelle Pfeiffer? And fun fact, John, not Michael J. Fox.
I figured that out earlier. I was like, Michael J. Fox is in this movie. What did I say? I don't remember him in that movie.
That's why we test questions, though. Sometimes writers just write some random things. Sometimes you write A, B, C, and A again. 5.
That does happen.
Jokes. 5.
That happens to Will.
Oh, Jesus. I'm not the only one throwing him under the bus. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to start off with Sean.
I'm 100% wrong, but I didn't want to blank board, so I said Grease 2.
So that would be a fun one. Ryan.
I've yet to see this film, but honestly, I probably should. Lady Hawk.
And Sandy?
I said The Freshman.
We were, in fact, looking for Lady Hawk.
Nice, Ryan. But great, good one on the Grease 2, Sean.
Yes.
I honestly would have watched it if Rutger Hauer was in Grease 2.
Yeah.
Fair.
Your fourth question is going to come from comedy. Who directed Dracula, Dead and Loving It?
Isn't that an interesting pairing of concepts? Comedy, Dracula. It's not what you probably would have expected.
There's been a lot of funny vampire movies. They've at least tried to make a lot of funny vampire movies.
Yeah, but it's just one of those where you're like, oh, comedy. All right, cool. Nope, that's not what I was expecting. Especially if you don't know the movie. We'll see if these competitors do in 5.
Time extension.
4. All right, that's going to be Sandy's first. Good thing. You reminded me. I got to write them down.
Yep, I'm a recent one.
Fun fact in editing, there at least I'm always going to mention this until someone else replaces it. In the first match I edited, I forgot about the repeat, so it went from 3 to 1 when I remembered it towards the end of the match. 5. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sandy.
I said Mel Brooks.
And Sean.
I also said Mel Brooks.
And Ryan.
I also wrote Mel Brooks.
Either you're all right or you're all wrong. You're all right. That is correct. Mel Brooks. Your fifth question in Sandy's strength of Star Trek. How many credited performances did Leonard Nimoy have as Spock?
Do we get extra time for this?
Yeah. Thank you, John. After the fact, editing.
You're welcome. I just saw that. It was bothering me.
Well, you do things that bother me, but I can't tell you because I'm on a time limit.
I couldn't prove you. You didn't have to say you wrote that. We could have just said Will wrote it. That's fine.
Oh.
No, I will always take credit for my mistakes, especially when Will has more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna start with Sean.
9.
Ryan.
I said 7.
And Sandy.
I said 9 as well.
Unfortunately, we were looking for 8. 1 through 6, and then Star Trek 09 and Into the Darkness.
No. I challenge.
Wait.
All right. Your sixth question is going to come in the realm of the MCU. What relation does Michael B. Jordan's Eric Killmonger have to T'Challa in Black Panther?
John,
Yep.
as a non-geek person, would you have known this? Simple yes or no?
I believe when we tested it, I got it right.
Yeah, well,
And I have seen this, so.
that's fair. 5,
Yeah.
4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna start with Ryan.
Cousin.
Sandy
They are in fact cousins.
and Sean.
Cousin.
Look at that. Went from Leonard Nimoy to Michael B. Jordan. Your seventh question is in Sean's strength of Jurassic Park.
Nice.
Which movie does William H. Macy appear in? So that's one of those things, John. I could have been like, which movie in the Jurassic franchise? It's in the strength. I don't need to say all that. Especially in the editing when I put it on screen.
What if someone says Fargo? Then they're going to be right. You know, you can't do that.
No. Not in the category. Not in the category.
That would be a wildly different movie.
5,
Okay.
4. Oh, I had my dinosaur kidnapped. 3, 2, 1. We're gonna start with Sandy.
Jurassic Park 3.
Sean.
Jurassic Park 3.
And Ryan.
Jurassic Park 3.
All right.
Your eighth question comes in the category of drama. What are the characters in Glengarry Glen Ross, Salesman of?
Oh.
Once again, if you don't know it, it might be a harder question, but it's guessable. You can write an answer down. That's always my goal. I'm not afraid to write a little tougher. Still answer.
I would also say, once again, Henry ending a question with a preposition.
I mean, that's my favorite thing. That's kind of like my trademark.
Yeah.
And, I'll tell you why in 5.
Time extension.
4. All right. That is Ryan's first. I'm loving the time extension thing. It's just so much better. Who needs to hear my stupid face talk?
Well, it's a good point because 9 times out of 10 you don't need to hear the question again. So.
Especially in teams. I feel like that's my biggest pet peeve. When they're trying to collaborate and they're like, let me read the question. All right, get off.
And they're talking over it.
5.
What are you saying?
4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna start with Sandy.
I said insurance.
All right, Sean.
I said cars.
And Ryan.
I said real estate.
If you're gonna sell real estate, you need to have brass balls. Real estate is the correct answer.
Oh. I was not sure what the actual term was. I was thinking of the play, so I was hoping it was the same.
One of the better monologues in history. Your potential final question in round 1 is in the category of Martin Scorsese. Who plays Betsy's coworker Tom in Taxi Driver? I know you're a horror guy. You a Scorsese guy?
Yeah, I like Martin Scorsese. Yeah, I like him. And I knew the answer to this question probably for a reason you could figure out, only because I happen to.
Speaking of Kirk, his Martin Scorsese list that he just uploaded right now is trash, and I'm so mad at him. He has The Departed at like 17. He has Cape Fear Solo. He literally, and it's like he rubbed it in my face. Like,
he gave ABCs of Death 2.5, 1/2 star. The nerve.
How dare he? 5. I think that has a little more reason. I think I'll back him on that one. I haven't even seen it. 2 and 1. Let's start with Sean.
Once again, it's not right. Bruce Greenwood.
And Ryan for a perfect. No. Nope. Never mind. I forgot about the Star Trek one. Ryan.
No worries. Well, maybe they have a good lead, but I don't know if I'm right either. I just wrote Albert Brooks.
And Sandy.
I have no idea. I said Joe Pesci.
It was, in fact, Albert Brooks. So, not for a perfect round, but
nice.
Ryan rounds off round 1 with 8 points to Sandy and Sean's tie at 4. Everyone has 2 repeats except for Sean still has his 3. So, before we go into round 2, go ahead and pop up the rules, and we'll let you know who decided to go first, second, and third. All right, so behind the scenes, Ryan has actually elected to go first because we all know that he does not like strategy. So let's go ahead and
Too much thinking behind it.
You ain't lying, brother. I mean, trivia is about thinking, but hey, that's your prerogative. So with that said, we're gonna pull up this wheel. I primed it a couple times, told you guys behind the scene what's on it, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into it. Your first spin.
I like that wheel.
Pretty, right?
I meant the categories, but
that too. The first time it's ever come up, it is the mystery category. Just to remind you, if you select it now without knowing what it is, you will not be given multiple choice, but every correct answer will be worth 3 points. So there's a little bit of risk there, and I think that's perfect opportunity with this color wheel.
And steals are available as well.
Steals are available, and they are the same thing, worth 3.
I think Payne should go for it.
Hey, man.
Tempted as hell, but I don't know.
5, 4, 3.
Not today. I'll spin again.
Not today, Jesus, or the devil, whatever the phrase is. Yeah. All right. So just a reminder: if you do spin it again, you obviously have to keep it, but it'll be worth 2 points and 1 point as normal. So here's your final spin.
You get your multiple choices.
Yeah. Sean's choice. All right. So as always, you cannot give him the mystery category, but every other category is eligible. So you have Adam Sandler, Audrey Hepburn, MCU actors in DC movies, your strength of Jurassic Park, obviously his strength of action adventure if you're a nice guy and it's Christmas, or Star Trek.
Because he has a decent lead on both Sandy and I got to give him Audrey Hepburn.
All right. And obviously, I'll give that to John because he's a huge, humongous fan of Audrey Hepburn.
Oh boy!
Just a reminder: whiteboarding your steals. You'll have roughly 5 seconds if he goes to multiple choice, and you have about 10 seconds if he doesn't. So,
not gonna let that statement stand. I'm not a huge fan of hers. I like some of these movies, but most of them were very painful to sit through. Here we go. Your first question, Audrey Hepburn. What specific disability does Audrey Hepburn's character have in Wait Until Dark?
She's blind. Final answer.
That is correct for 2 points. Your second question. How many aliases, including his real name, does Cary Grant's character have in Charade?
Oh, great. Here we go. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to say 4.
That is correct.
Wow.
Yes, it is.
Shoot.
Your third question in Audrey Hepburn. Besides William Wyler, what other director has directed Audrey Hepburn 3 times?
Billy Wilder?
That is incorrect.
Damn it.
Chance for a steal. I'll repeat the question. Besides William Wyler, what other director has directed Audrey Hepburn 3 times?
Give you about 10 seconds.
I'm wrong.
I'm wrong.
5, 4, 2, 1. Sandy for a huge 2-point opportunity.
I said Frank Capra.
And Sean?
I said Sidney Lumet.
Both incorrect. Looking for Stanley Donen.
Yeah.
Billy Wilder did direct her twice, though.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Maybe there was a third film I was missing for Billy Wilder.
And your fourth and final question, Audrey Hepburn. What are the professions of Audrey Hepburn and Shirley MacLaine's characters in The Children's Hour?
They're teachers.
That is correct for 2 points.
All right. Well, Ryan with a
Not
very
bad, Ryan. Good
solid,
job.
I would even say great, Audrey Hepburn. So we are
Yep.
going to jump over to Sandy. Your first spin is going to be Adam Sandler.
I mean, do I risk it? I'm a pretty big Adam Sandler fan. Do I risk? But I know Henry wrote these questions, so
It's a compliment.
it is.
5,
Uh,
3.
I'll take it.
In the category of Adam Sandler, Sandy the Sandman Robinson, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, your first question. Where does Adam Sandler take Jennifer Aniston's character for vacation in Just Go With It?
Hawaii. Final answer.
That is correct for 2 points. Some might say Hawaii, but hey, we'll get into that later.
Hawaii.
Your second question. Who directed Sandler in Pixels?
Multiple choice.
Is it A, Frank Carrassi, B, Chris Columbus, C, Dennis Dugan, or D, Joe Johnson?
I'm gonna say Joe Johnson.
That is incorrect. Give you about 5 seconds for your steal. Is it A, Frank Carrassi, B, Chris Columbus, C, Dennis Dugan, or D, Joe Johnson?
Should have went with my gut.
We're going to go over to Ryan for 1 point.
It was a 50-50 personally for me, so I went with C, Dennis Dugan.
And Sean?
I also went C.
Home Alone director himself, Chris Columbus.
I was between those two.
All right,
Yeah.
your third question. In what Adam Sandler film does Steve Buscemi have a role as a homeless man?
Shit, okay. I'm gonna say Mr. Deeds.
That is incorrect. In what film does Steve Buscemi have a role as a homeless man? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sean for a chance at 2.
I thought it was also Mr. Deeds, so I went with Little Nicky.
And Ryan.
Still was in that sausage McMuffin. Big Daddy.
Big Daddy is what we're looking for 2 points.
Oh, that's right.
Doesn't he play a homeless guy in Mr. Deeds as well? Like, he gets the car, right? But he's like living in a buggy.
Let's fact check. All right, so after a little bit of behind the scenes double checking just to see if his character is in fact homeless in Mr. Deeds, he unfortunately, or technically fortunately for him, is not. But in Big Daddy, he 100% is. So with that said, there's the big 2 points for Ryan going into Sandy's final question. Sandy, what sports team does Adam Sandler find himself invested in due to one of the players becoming his customer in Uncut Gems?
Shit. Knew there was going to be an Uncut Gems question in here. I'm going to say the New York Knicks.
That is incorrect. So, what sport team does Adam Sandler find himself invested in due to one of the players becoming his customer in Uncut Gems? 5, 4,
Sean's going to get this right away.
2, 1. Pen down. Ryan, we're going to start with you.
I honestly have no interest in watching this film, so I'm guessing the Brooklyn Nets.
First of all, no interest in watching it. That is wild. Sean.
It was Kevin Garnett and the Boston Celtics.
It is the Boston Celtics. So,
I knew it was basketball.
Yeah. If you didn't know it was basketball choice, the multiple choice would have been New York Yankees, Boston Red Sox, Boston Celtics, New York Knicks. So I get a little bit of both, teams there. So with that said, the score is currently 16 Ryan, 6 Sandy, 6 Sean. So Sean, here's your first spin.
Sandy's choice.
Well, would you look at that? Sean's choice. I mean, obviously you're gonna pick the mixer category, right? No, I'm just kidding.
I honestly, because I'm so far behind, I would like to, but I just can't risk it. So I'll go with Jurassic Park.
All right, he's gonna go for the Jurassic franchise, not just the first movie. Don't want there to be any confusion. Just kidding. As I'm buying myself time, I wrote these, so I'll go ahead and just stick with them. Sean, your first question. What animal does a little boy say a velociraptor looks like, which upsets Dr. Grant?
A turkey.
For 2 points. 6-foot turkey, to be specific.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to. That's what I was gonna say, but I didn't want to top shelf it.
Your second question. Who plays Claire in the Jurassic World movies?
Bryce Dallas Howard.
2 more points.
Damn.
Your third question. How many years after the events of Jurassic Park does Jurassic Park 3 take place?
Just because I don't want to give them choices if I get it wrong, I'm going to say 4.
That is incorrect. So for the chance to steal, how many years after the events of Jurassic Park does Jurassic Park 3 take place? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We're going to start with Ryan.
And my marker went out, but I think I was able to. I really can't tell, so I wrote 7.
And Sandy.
I said 3.
We were looking for 8 years. 8 years. It would have bugged you too, because 4 was actually one of the options. 1, 4, 8, and 10. So I think you would have stuck with your gut there. So I respect the shot. Your final question in Jurassic franchise. What is the name of the bioengineering company in The Lost World?
InGen.
For 2 points. Didn't let that last one stumble.
Nope. Good
I
job.
was really hoping you were going to let me say these multiple choice that I'm going to say anyway of Dinogen, Androgen, Gen D, and InGen. Had a little bit of fun with those. So going into round 3, Ryan is up 16. Sandy is at 6, and Sean jumped up to 12. So before we get into that, here are the rules. All right, so since Sandy is unfortunately in third place right now, we are going to start with him. John, since you haven't said anything in a little bit, I'll let you read off to Sandy.
All right, Sandy, your 2-point question in Star Trek. How many years passed between the last original series film and the first film to only feature the Next Generation cast? And that means the release time between them, not in real time.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to ask Stardate. I was like, okay, that's not a 2-point question. I'll guarantee it.
Years of our Lord. Years of our Lord.
I'm going to say 2.
That is incorrect. 5 years between Star Trek 6 and Star Trek First Contact.
1991 and 1990.
Yeah, that's right.
What about Generations? Generation was the first one. Oh.
Yeah.
To only feature the Next Generation
Yeah,
cast.
to only that's where I made my mistake. So
All right. Your 3-point question, because you could still count Sean, I believe. Yes. In Star Trek Into Darkness, John Harrison sends Thomas Harewood to bomb what specific section of London's Starfleet Command?
can I get a full repeat of the question?
Yes, you can. In Star Trek Into Darkness, John Harrison sends Thomas Harewood to bomb what specific section of London Starfleet Command?
Just a reminder, you have one repeat or time extension remaining. We're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2.
I'll get my last repeat.
In Star Trek Into Darkness, John Harrison sends Thomas Harewood to bomb what specific section of London Starfleet Command?
I don't know if it's. I'm going to say weapons development.
Is incorrect. The answer is Section 31.
31.
So with that said, unfortunately, Sandy is incapable of catching up to Sean in second place and Ryan currently in first place. So we're going to save your 5-pointer for a later date. So we are going to bounce over to Sean in the Jurassic franchise, currently down 12-16. Sean, are you ready?
Yeah.
I'll take this one. Sean, for 2 points. How many Jurassic Park films does Jeff Goldblum portray the role of Ian Malcolm?
3.
And that is correct for 2 points. I felt bad when I said Jurassic Park films. I'm like, oh no, it's not a trap. I almost wanted to, but then I didn't want to give any hints. So I'm like, all right, we're just gonna commit to this and we'll go from there. Your 3-pointer to take the lead. What branch of the armed forces did Owen Grady belong to?
He was in the Navy.
And you are in the lead. 3 points.
Okay. Do you want me to ask these action-adventure questions?
Yeah, have some fun.
All right, Ryan, your 2-pointer in action-adventure. Who plays the villainous Eric Quailen in Cliffhanger?
That would be John Lithgow.
That is correct.
We still got to work on your pausing and your dramatic effect, John. But yes, that is.
I'll wait extra long next time so people start thinking they're wrong. Like,
exactly. You gotta add it up. You gotta make them sweat a little bit. So with that said, we are gonna bounce back over to Sean, who must hit his 5-pointer to stay alive. Sean, are you ready?
Sure.
For 5 points and to take back the lead. Who plays Ian Malcolm's daughter, Kelly Curtis, in The Lost World, Jurassic Park?
I'm not going to waste all the time. I actually don't know. So congrats, Ryan.
Final answer?
Yes, final answer.
Well, and your winner with the final score of 18-17-6, Ryan Payne. All right, Ryan.
When your hair works.
Yeah, Ryan. This is your first match in the brand new There Will Be Trivia singles. Let's do a double thought process here. What are your thoughts on your performance tonight, and what are your thoughts on how the game generally played out for you personally?
I'm honestly happy with my performance. It's honestly, I've been playing in, I think, trivia so many different trivia leagues. It's had me stretched out and I've had so many days where I'm like suffering from brain fog or brain farts so much. So I was just glad to come in here and just have some fun. Not to say the other leagues aren't fun, but at least playing all those 6-man match, those 3 teams matches with you, I get to understand like it's gonna be a mixture of knowledge, but also just to have fun and shoot the shit. So It took the pressure off me coming in here. And also, I know Sean from playing with him in faction. I've seen Sandy's record in the past couple watching their matches, so I knew these guys were gonna be dangerous, especially with their strengths. I figured I go broad. I figured I don't need to get too in-depth and specific, but Yeah, when Sean got, but I will say, when Sean had that 5-pointer, I'm going, well, okay, time for me. Hopefully, I can get my 3 and 5 to win.
Yep.
But I feel good, and I mean, I can't wait to see who else I play in future of the matches. And as far as this game goes, I do like the change up here. It keeps me on my toes. It feels like I'm actually playing like what I used to play with my friends, like not bar. Some of them did play bar trivia, but they would bring their own versions of it when they would have their game nights. So that's what I felt. This was like a good, fun game night, honestly.
There you go. Well, congratulations on the win. Unfortunately, you only get the 1 TKO, but you still get 2 points for a first place finish and the 1 for the TKO. So you have yourself a little solid placement in the standings, and we'll see where your next matchup is. Congratulations, and we're gonna jump over to Sean. All right, Sean. So I guess my first question for you is, what are your thoughts in the rust factor? Obviously, you said you hadn't played in a year, so it's one of those things where do you feel tonight would have gone at any point in your trivia careers, or one of those where as soon as you shake off the rust, you'll be back in motion like nothing ever changed up for you?
Well, I mean, round 1, I just didn't know those questions. It wasn't rust. I just didn't know them. The 5-pointer, I have been dealing with a head cold all day, so I didn't get to prep. Had I done my prep, I would have known Vanessa Chester was the daughter, because I would have gone over that. So I'm gonna chalk that up to just me resting before the match instead of actually getting to study for it. But I mean, round 1, sometimes you just get questions you just don't know, And I mean, I can't really complain about round 2. I got my strength. And Ryan basically doubled down. I thought Hepburn was like the only thing I didn't want on that wheel. So I was like, as soon as I got the choose, I was like, well, fuck, I'm gonna give it to Ryan because I don't want it. And he went out and just like, as soon as he destroyed that, I was like, I will literally have to like steal points from Sandy, or because I was like, I'm mathematically, there's no way I'm gonna be able to do this unless I can steal something out of this. Which the Boston Celtics one gave me a chance. No, Ryan played out of his mind today. I think it's the best I've ever seen Ryan play. Shockingly. And Sandy just got some tough breaks. There were some of those questions that, I mean, hell, Ryan and I were actually like defending him. Like, no. Because I mean, it's just Sandy just got some rough questions. Sandy's a great competitor as well. But I mean, it was. I didn't get to study for the match like I had planned to and wanted to. A lot of that's just because I have the cold, but yeah, I mean, better prep time. Like I said, I would have gotten that 5-pointer. I would have made Ryan have to earn it at the end. But you live and learn. You prepare better for next time.
Absolutely, and that's the joys of this league with the point system, because you do get some credit for a second place finisher, get 1 point there, but you also get a 1 point for the TKO of Sandy. So you're going into your next matchup with 2 points. So you're not at the bottom of the barrel, and you don't necessarily feel like it's a loss. You definitely feel rewarded for your performance in today's match. So definitely can't wait to see you again, and we'll see exactly who you're going to play when that happens.
Awesome, thanks for having me.
And last but not least, we have Sandy the Sandman Robinson. So Sandy, kind of touch on kind of carry over what Sean was saying about just some of the tough breaks on a couple of your questions of like, technically you have a few things that just, when you get down to the brass tacks, it just kind of is what it is. But it's one of those where it's like, we know exactly where your head was at, and it's not like you were way off. But outside of those things, what are your thoughts on this match and just kind of what your future's looking like in this league?
Well, you know what? Fucking Henry, you and your fucking leak, and no, seriously. Come on. I first off, I've learned from a very, very young age in this community. There is nothing wrong with the questions. There is only what's wrong with the answerer. And I didn't know those questions. You know what? I did exactly what I always hoped to do in round 1. It never happens, but I got half right. So I'm like, I'm in it. So
we're tied.
Not getting 1, which is normal. So my mistake happened when I didn't spin away from Adam Sandler. I should have spun away. There was enough on the board that I had an opportunity, even if I would have landed on somebody else's strength or on somebody else's choice. Audrey Hepburn was off the board. So, but Ryan played amazing today. Like his 7 out of 8 in round 1, him clobbering Audrey Hepburn over the head and not really having to answer anything but his first his first point. Sean, off a year's retirement, barely broke a sweat. He was playing so well with a cold. So my competitors were fantastic today. You know me, I get into my head sometimes if I miss something that I know I should get, I sort of spiral out of that, and that's what happened with round 2. Round 3, I knew section 31. That's just stupid. They say it about 9 million times during the end fight scene with the with the 2 ships.
I feel like it's one of those questions where you never thought of it in question form. So when it came to hearing the question, it's like that's not the first thing that pops in your mind. So I definitely understand your thought process.
But you know what? I've told you before, and I'll tell you again. I love the format. I think the format's cool. I love the little trick with the mystery category. I think that's really gonna throw some bones around. Guess what? I'm 0 now, so I don't know when I'll get another match. But I guarantee if I land on the mystery category, I'm taking it just to give me that opportunity to get back into some standings here. But I had a lot of fun. I always have a lot of fun as long as I can be with people that I enjoy. And John, I don't know, we haven't known each other for long, but you're fun. So it's great to have you guys here as hosts and for me to be able to play. Once again, all hats off to both my competitors. Ryan played great. Sean played great. I played like absolute dog meat. But I predicted it. He covered up his hair.
Yeah, you called it. You called it.
I did.
You did call that. Something John likes to remind people. Remember, this is a point-based league. So just because you have 0 points and you have a loss doesn't mean nothing. Because guess what? There's other people with 0 points and losses as well. And we have the cap of the 36 players. So it's not like there's a huge menage a trois that you need to fight through. So we'll definitely.
Yeah, this isn't like you lose and then you don't get to play until 2023. You'll be back before you know it.
Exactly. So can't wait to see that, and we'll definitely have a fun one for you. So there you go. All right, so that was today's matchup. Congratulations to Ryan Payne for his first place finish. Congratulations to Sean for avoiding a TKO and just potentially being one question away from a win. And congratulations to Sandy for having fun. John, any final thoughts?
No, we're rolling, man. One of these days, one of these mystery categories is going to be chosen, and people are going to be very upset.
You ain't lying, brother. You're not lying. Especially with this one, when Ryan was doing it, I'm like, you're going to want to take your hat off for this one. But yes, with that said, shout out to our fellow co-creator and writer, Will Cohen. Shout out to John for co-hosting with me as well as co-writing this. And then obviously no one wants to shout me out, so boo. My name is Henry Confidential. That's John Maurer. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, because not only we have this match, we have the horror podcast with John and myself. We also have my other podcast with Os Pesal. We also have kind of what they talked about earlier with the open format, just kind of hanging out and talk about trivia. So if you like that stuff, or if you don't, guess what? Because there will be trivia.